We spend 16 of the most formative years of our life in formal schooling. The hope is that this is going to lead us to professional and personal success. We're going to get good jobs, we're going to find good families. But are schools, the way they're currently run, actually putting us on this path to success? Turns out, age-old teaching and curriculum practices might be teaching children to think in all the wrong ways. As a curriculum designer, an educator, and an education researcher, I've been investigating this issue for the past 3 years with the Citizens Foundation. Since this is not an issue that just affects a privileged few, we've been working with underserved communities to figure out how we can rethink schools to build the skills that we need while keeping that system replicable at scale, low cost, efficient, and local. So first, let's talk about what conventional school actually does and what we need to do. We're all here with a vision for a society we want to see and a person that we want to be. In ourselves and in the people around us, we want to see certain skills. We'd like to, for example, be able to look at situations, find problems, and find creative ways to tackle those problems. We'd like to be passionate about something and pursue that passion diligently, to stand up for things that we believe in, to stand up against authoritarian practices and traditions that we don't like. We'd like to live a balanced life where we are personally, mentally, and physically well. We'd like to have good friends and to be a good friend and a family member. These are skills that we need regardless of whether we work in Islamabad or Karachi, in the development sector, or if in FMCG. We all want these things. But are schools focusing on them? Think about this. Did your school teach you how to manage your emotions and how to manage your anger? Did your school teach you how to have a passion and pursue that passion? Did it teach you to question authority? Did it teach you how to take care of your body? Or did you spend most of your time reciting Shakespearean sonnets, memorizing sat words, practicing math questions, writing 1-hour essays based on English past papers? There's a gap between what we want in our adults and what we're actually teaching and practicing in schools. And we need to bridge that gap. Because what school is doing might actually be undermining the development of these crucial skills that we need. Let's talk about how. We don't just become the adults that we are, we're not born with the qualities that we want. Our experiences in our childhood shape us and shape our behaviors and our attitudes. Because a child's brain processes information in order to create a coherent understanding of the world. So good actions get rewarded with good feelings. Pride, anger, applause, hugs. Bad feelings get shamed, you get shame and humiliation. That's how you learn what you're supposed to do in life and what you're not supposed to do in life. These neural connections last with you a lifetime. What neural connections is conventional schooling actually forming? Let's think about what the goals of conventional schooling are. What does it mean to be successful at school? Is it a prefect's badge and gown? Is it a straight A report card? And what do you need to do to achieve these markers of success in conventional school? Do timed tasks in math and English, the task that somebody else set for you? Obey the teacher? Be the best, most quiet, most obedient person in the room? What connections are we forming in children's mind through the system of exam-based and obedience-based compliance? We're telling them that the only tasks worth solving are or the only problems worth solving are problems that somebody else set for you. That the answers to these problems already exist in the back of your textbook. They're not open-ended. You don't have to find them yourself. We're telling them that if you somehow achieve this arbitrary problem, you're a success. But if you don't achieve it, if, for example, you fail a math test, then you are an utter failure and a bad person, and you should go sit at the back of the room and go into something soft like psychology because math is not for you. We teach kids that if they step out of line, they're bad people. If they question authority, they're bad people. And this system is just not the way to create the critical thinkers, the citizens, the change makers, the good friends that we need in this world. So how can we create a curriculum that builds the skills that we need in the 21st century? At the Citizens Foundation Lab School, we've been trying to answer that question and have come up with some great strategies that we think are a way that you should rethink school. So first off, if you want to develop curiosity in people, how about presenting them a world of ideas that will build their fascination? How about presenting these ideas through fun, beautifully illustrated storybooks that reflect children's lives, emotions, physical appearance, and social settings while introducing ideas that are meaningful? We've created over 100 original storybooks that reflect the communities that we serve and introduce themes like dinosaurs, astronauts, and the world under the sea, while being very true to what a child wants to do and how a child feels. When you were growing up, little Punjabi girl in Lahore or Islamabad, did you read about a little Punjabi girl just like you who was an astronaut or somebody who was doing something really wacky and wild? Well, now, through the stories that we've created, the children that we're serving can actually do that. They can see themselves reflected in fascinating ways and can follow that curiosity elsewhere. How would we want them to follow that curiosity? It's not just about learning concepts that a teacher tells you and then spitting them out with a pen onto a piece of paper and being graded on it. It's about doing hands-on activities that allow you to push deeper and engage deeper with ideas. So we don't just do pen and paper tasks, we do dress up and we do role play and we do arts and crafts and we do discussions that are open-ended, that can have multiple answers. When we do this, we see children engage with ideas in ways that we didn't think were possible. Third, if you want people who can take care of their mental and physical health, you need to practice those things. If you want kindness and empathy in society, make that a part of your school day. For 13 years, teach them that empathy matters, that feelings matter, that we should be aware of our feelings, learn how to deal with them, recognize them in others, and learn how to respond to other people's feelings as well. We make sure that our teachers and our students are not an authority and a recipient of authority, that they're all at the same level. The teacher needs to get down to the student's level and talk to them like they're equals. That's how you build a community. And that's how you build a child's sense of confidence that they are a valuable part of that community, which is a safe community that makes them want to learn. If you want people to take care of their bodies, we have a global health epidemic. Teach them how to use their bodies and be aware of them. In school, we should be playing with children every day in physical ways. We should be playing outside. We should be doing exercise. We should be doing yoga. And we should not be giving up those activities in favor of tests and exams, because that is sending the message that academics is the only important thing that you learn in school. But the body matters as much as performance on an exam. Lastly, and this is really, really, really crucial, there needs to be a space in school to be playful and joyful. Let's bring play back to school. Most of us haven't experienced this in our schooling in Pakistan, at least. School is a very formal setting. Laughter is something that is frowned upon. But let's bring that back. Because play is the primary vehicle of children's learning. Play is how children make meaning in the world. It moves away from a closed-ended approach to learning where the teacher owns all the information and presents it to children and they have to master it. It moves towards a more open-ended exploration. So when we provide children with open-ended materials every day and let them determine what they want to do, they can bring their rich internal world to life in many ways. They can create representations, they can collaborate, they can play alone, they can play together, they can use material in unexpected ways. And as they play, not only do they learn concepts, they learn a lot of really crucial life skills. They learn how to be with others and to share a limited set of resources. They learn how to pick themselves up after they fall down and how to pick others up when they fall down. They learn how, if they want to achieve a goal badly enough, they can come up with inventive ways to do that. Play is crucial if we want to develop the skills that we do. Now, if we do all this, I have no doubt that we're going to get to the future that we want to see. How do I know that? Because just in a few short years of practicing these things, we've seen the magic happen. We've seen these changes, the confidence that critical thinking develop in children very, very early on. Here's a story that our first grader, Fazil, wrote, illustrated, and then performed entirely on his own. He's exposed to storybooks and he has the time, the space, and the enthusiasm to develop his own. So here he's written a story about Dracula, which is something that fascinates him. And he's talked about how people feel in the village because there's a Dracula in town and how that affects their life. When is the last time you saw a first grader, a 6 or 7-year-old, do something like this? So these skills that we want, creativity, confidence, critical thinking, they can be taught. They are teachable skills. But to teach them, we need to start early. We need to make a concrete space for them in school, and we need to consistently reinforce the messaging. And if we do that, we're going to get where we want to be. Thank you.